I'm not wearing any pants. And I just thought we might establish that before we get into this relationship. Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing so amazing today. I am excited and also not super excited because we're going to be talking about a show that I'm just kind of disappointed over. Please don't yell at me. So if you didn't know, Marvel released their new show She-Hulk last month, and I have some things to say about it. Now, I just want to say I don't usually do reviews like this because I know that there is so much hard work that goes into making any kind of TV show or movie. There are so many people that work on it, and there's so many people that, you know, really do their best and try their hardest and go above and beyond to really allow for storytelling. That's one of the reasons why I love Marvel so much, is because it really provokes an emotion within people, and I think that they're very, very good at storytelling and coming up with stories. However, in this instance, that is not the case. So let's talk about it. First of all, I want to start with the positive, the things that I did like about She-Hulk and the things that I was very impressed, well, not impressed with, but just I appreciated. Number one is I did really love the protagonist, Jennifer Walters. I think that she's actually very likable in comparison to what a lot of people have said. I think that she's spunky, and I think she's cool, and I think that Tatiana is a very good actress and very good at portraying her. And I also think that she has a lot of characteristics that people would see as annoying or just kind of over demanding. But I feel also, if we pose the question, if this were a male character, would it be looked at the same way? And I don't mean to make this sound like a whole sexist show or anything like that. I do think that that is a question that could be posed, because I feel like she was very likable if you think about her in that way. The downfall of the show is definitely not the actress's fault, and I think she did absolutely amazing at portraying what she needed to portray off of the script. I also really loved all the Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo cameos. I absolutely love Mark Ruffalo with all my heart. He's just such a sweetheart, and I loved getting to see him again, although I did have a huge problem with the CGI on him, but that's a topic for later. And I love the Matt Murdock cameos as well. I didn't know too much about She-Hulk, so I wasn't expecting a Matt Murdock cameo, but when I did see him, I was like, hello, gorgeous. Although I do have some problems with his character in She-Hulk. So let's talk about the things that I hated. It's a long list. So get some popcorn, get some coffee. Let's chat. The first thing I want to talk about is the character development. I feel overall that the characters were very, very stale. I don't feel like the characters had any depth. I don't think that they really took time to figure out who their characters were, and I understand that this is a very hard thing to do when writing a script. It's something that takes talent, and it's something that takes a lot of time to really understand your characters and who they are in life and who they are to other characters in the show, but I feel like there was no time spent on them at all. My apologies if there was. I feel though that there could have been a lot more time put into these characters, and it didn't really show through the screen. I also feel like a lot of the characters were not needed. Titania, I did not understand what the purpose of her being there was. I don't understand why she hated She-Hulk so much. I don't understand why she just kept popping up in different scenes, like, for no reason. Even talking about this, I'm confused. I'm just confused. I'm just confused all around, and I don't understand it. I also feel like they could have done a lot more with her friends Nikki and Pug. I feel like there was a lot of potential with those characters, and again, they were just very stale. I don't feel like Pug was given enough screen time. I think that his screen time could have been a lot more funny and comedic. And then as far as Nikki, she was just very, I don't know. I don't feel like her and Jennifer were even like friends. Like, they didn't have that chemistry as friends, and so I feel like they could have done a lot more with that, and they just didn't. So yeah, even though there were a lot of great actresses and actors and a lot of surprising cameos, I don't think there was a purpose for why those characters were in the story, and it's very hard to follow a show or a movie or anything, even a story, when you don't understand the background for characters or why they do certain things. And I don't feel like they had a why. It was just, they were just kind of there. Like, it just, this is life, this is how it's going. Cool. I didn't understand it. The next thing I want to talk about is CGI and effects and animation. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. I just want to start off by saying, I know CGI does not need to be perfect. This is storytelling. Literally, if you go to Broadway and the characters want you to think that they're in space, they're going to have a black background with some hanging stars, and you're going to believe that it's space. However, with Marvel, I have seen them do such a good job at CGI and effects, and I've seen so many movies and shows that they've done that have been so amazing, that to see a show like this, it kind of makes me disappointed, because as a Marvel fan, I'm there for the action, I'm there for the thrill, I'm there for what can you do with CGI and animation, and I feel like it was completely rushed through. And especially because the script and the writing wasn't holding the story up, I don't think that they had any space to lack in the CGI department. If the story was really well written and we really knew who these characters were, and we really knew the plot, and we were really engrossed in the actual script, the CGI probably would have not even mattered. Both sides were lacking, and therefore it just didn't work out. Even for example with Bruce Banner as Hulk, he looked so great in the Avengers movies. He was huge, like even next to Thor he was like gigantic, like towering over him, and Thor is a pretty tall dude. And I feel like for She-Hulk, he also looked like a little miniature action figure that came off of the shelf or that you get at McDonald's. And I think the same goes with She-Hulk. I saw a lot of reviews online about how people really wanted to see her really buffed up and really, you know, really big, and like that Marvel was kind of scared to give her muscles and kind of scared to make her look so rugged and rough. And I have my opinions on that. I mean, I think that would have been really cool to see, but it's not necessarily 100% needed. However, again, if the storytelling and the script wasn't good, then I think that they really needed to up the CGI. And speaking of effects and action, the fighting scenes were not there at all. My main concern for being so disappointed by the show is it's because it's Marvel. Whenever I go to see a Marvel movie, I am literally overtaken and overwhelmed by emotion when I see an action scene or when I see a fight scene. Like the fighting scene in Shang-Chi on the bus was like, I was literally all over the place. It made me want to cry. Obviously in Endgame, when all of the Avengers and superheroes get together to fight Thanos, I was like, oh my god, like on the edge of my seat. And I just did not feel that way with She-Hulk. And I understand that this is a TV show, it's not a big Marvel movie blockbuster, but because it's Marvel, I still think that the quality should be a lot better. And lastly, I want to talk about the plot. To this day, I still do not know what the plot to She-Hulk was. I don't understand its purpose. I don't understand what She-Hulk's purpose is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm not that kind of Marvel fan that reads the comics, and I know I should be, but you don't have to read the comics in order to be a Marvel fan. And so as a sole Marvel viewer, I don't understand what the purpose of She-Hulk is to this universe. I felt like the story was not linear at all. One episode led to another episode that meant something completely different to the next episode. I feel like there was not a continuous story that happened, and there was no plot, and there was no conclusion. I honestly kept watching the show because I thought that it would tie together in the end, that there'd be some kind of underlying issue that kept showing up in the show that we didn't notice. Kind of like in WandaVision, how we didn't understand what was going on at all in the beginning of the show, and yet by the end we were totally immersed in the characters and who they were, and that aha moment happened. I didn't get an aha moment, I just got like a huh moment. It just felt completely plotless, and I felt like I was just watching a bunch of characters just talk to each other. I thought they were really also going to do something with She-Hulk coming out of her universe and coming into our universe and going to talk to Kevin, which was actually kind of funny. But like, I thought they were gonna do something with that. I thought they were gonna like completely rewrite the story, and it was gonna be like this great ending, and they didn't. They made it worse. I was even more confused. I don't know what the plot is. Someone please help me. Like, I really want to understand what the plot to She-Hulk is. And then also, what was up with Hulk at the end? He just shows up to the family party and he's like, I want to introduce you to someone special. Here's my son. And I'm like, I'm sorry, your son? When? With who? Hulk has a son, and there was no explanation as to where he came from. I need to calm down. I need to drink some wine. I should have poured a glass of wine, even though it's literally like 1 o'clock, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. That joke never gets old. And then finally, I really dislike the pairing of Matt Murdock with She-Hulk. I just don't think that the pairing of her and Matt Murdock is the greatest decision. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people might differ on that, but I just feel like it was kind of just, I don't know. I really just don't know. I'm just really confused, and I really would like some clarification if anybody would help. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I can't even talk. I felt like that relationship was also a lot like Natasha and Bruce Banner, where I didn't understand where that relationship came from, and I didn't necessarily really like it either. I felt like there wasn't that much chemistry, and that's another topic for another day. So yeah, those are just my opinions. I do want to say I love Marvel wholeheartedly. It's one of my favorite entertainment industries. I think they're doing such a great job when it comes to telling stories. But I also think that they're failing a lot in the department of just getting things out just for the heck of it. That's what I really feel. Since Multiverse of Madness, I feel like they're just have been putting out content just for the heck of it, and that's not what Marvel fans are here for, especially the ones that have been around for a long time. And so I just want to say, Marvel, do better. Do better, okay? I love you, but we all, you know, fail sometimes, and that's okay. I know a lot of people might disagree with this video, and if you do, that's totally fine, but I just needed to rant about this, even though I don't usually do this kind of thing, because it was just such a heated discussion within my household, and I kind of wanted to share my thoughts as well. Anybody is able to dislike or like whatever they want, and that's 100% fine and beautiful. But if you did like this video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up so I know to make more additional content like this. Don't forget to comment down below if you liked the show or you disliked it, and what your thoughts on She-Hulk are. And don't forget to hit the subscription button down below and click the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you every time that I do upload a video. I leave all of my social media links in the description box down below so that we can catch up and become the best of friends. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you want more like this, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!